Hey. Oh, wow. I'm on time. I'm on time. Alrighty. So I'm just going to relax and I push the table away from me and then I lean in. So, what is that? So, let's just bring it a bit closer, shall we? There's always adjustments. You might think you have it all set, but there's always adjustments required. Message in that, right? Facebook, you're too far away. YouTube, you're perfect. Right, Facebook, you're too far away. Wow, why are you not moving? All right, hold on. There we go. Hi, Sunshine Tea. Hearts. Hearts. Okay. I thought it wouldn't be too hot on this side. I've missed being on this side. This gives me the view of Thunder Mountain. I'm just gonna decompress. Hi, Chords of Gratitude. Okay. So I'm noticing weird things. So I don't see who's on Facebook, although I can see that there are people there. Hi, Lori. I don't know why that is. It's annoying, but it is what it is. So check out these glasses. Aren't these fun? Love, love, love. Hey. And you know what's so cool about these is I can wear these at night. I can wear these. I'm trying to get ready for my Halloween outfit, and my body has to morph quite a bit in order for it to happen, but I'm determined. All right. I've got all kinds of glasses. I've got all kinds of decks. I got different decks for us today as far as the messages for you guys. So items to choose from. So yesterday, I'll just start talking. Yesterday, I went on a hike that I haven't been on in years. It was it's where I used to live in Wilson Canyon. Soldiers Pass area was my go-to place because I had no vehicle. So I had to go wherever I could walk or I could ride my bike. And so I went on this gnarly trail. And as my girlfriend reminded me, I am Aries and a trailblazer, and I don't follow where others lead. I blaze a trail and lead of a path. And I've got the road in my house, the road less traveled, behind my work desk. And it is an Aries thing. We are the forward movement. We are the way showers. But she says it's got to get tiring for you to always be blazing a trail. And it does get tiring. And I did it. And I slashed my legs. They were bleeding. And I was punctured by, it's called fire coral cactus, I think. I looked it up and I backed up. So I backed up and it speared me right in my calf and literally blood exploded. Hi, Julie Zachariah. Started pouring. I mean, pouring down my leg. And the pain, I can't tell you the fire that exploded inside my calf. Oh my God, it was throbbing, throbbing, throbbing. And I was like, oh my God. I looked down and it's like a hole pierced right through me. And but it didn't stop me. I kept walking. I didn't have anything to wipe it with. I poured water on a little piece of tissue and cleaned it up after a bit. But I talked about going blazing this trail or taking the trail or blazing a trail. I always blaze a trail. Hi. And it cut me off. It cut off about at least a half an hour of hiking by not going on the trail, cutting the corner, going through the wash and up the mountain. But I got thrashed. I mean, I got thrashed. My legs are scarred up, and I got bruises everywhere. And then I thought to myself, all right, I've been doing that my whole life. It's getting to be a lot. And then when I got to the top of where I wanted to go, I didn't know where there was a trail, and I wasn't sure. Hi, Ingrid. Good morning, goddess. Good morning, soul fam, says Ingrid. So when I got to where I wanted to be, I thought, well, I could probably see the trail from there, but I couldn't. Hi, Tina. And I knew that I was going to have to find my trail on the way back, and I didn't want to do it in the dark. And so I said to the girls, okay, it's time to go back. Hi. And so that we can find our way. And we couldn't find our way. We couldn't find a trail. We couldn't see the trail because we hadn't come by the trail. We had blazed a path, so we were going to have to blaze a path back. So I was working my way back, and I came across a little fox. It was dead, and it was laid out. It was so perfect and so beautiful. It was a gray fox. And I thought, what happened to it? There was no marks on its body. It literally, its little tail was kind of curled up above it, and it was just laid there on the path in front of me. And I thought, it was presented to me. And I thought, what happened to you? What happened to you? I wouldn't have seen it if I hadn't been off trail. Off path. I was out in the middle of nowhere. And I still don't understand. So I'm gonna share with you the meaning of the fox. For me, fox is the art of camouflage. And hi, Breezer. Good morning. Soul fam. Breeze is driving to work. Say hi. Tina says good evening. Ingrid says good morning, goddess. We're all over the place as far as time. Good afternoon here, right? And anyways, the fox is talking about the art of camouflage and about observance and stillness. But this little fox, its path was over. Its life had ended, and it was a juvenile. It wasn't a full grown. It was young. So, in a positive way, I kept seeing the fox, a gray fox. I've got a fox at my front door, but it's a red fox. But I keep seeing the gray fox, the fox, the fox, and I'm like, who is the fox? Who is the fox? And it's about adapting, and whoever this fox represents has died to an old way of being. They that part of their life is over. Angels on your wheels, Breezer. I'm on the Bruce in 5. Have a wonderful day. They live in the same area. That's so cool. Angels on your wheels. I like that. But Fox says situations are shifting. Magic is afoot. Do not reveal too much of your plans. Look to what might be camouflaged against you. So that little fox didn't see, it wasn't camouflaged enough, didn't adapt. Somehow it was stopped in its tracks. So the message is magic is afoot, but don't give too much. Some may be working against you. Interesting message. So that leads us to our first item is this little fox on the rock with the pine cone. I loved that little fox. It was so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Gosh. It wasn't in pain anymore. It wasn't hurting. It had left its space. It had left and gone on to greener pastures. So maybe that's it. Someone has gone on to greener pastures. So this is your first item to choose from. Second item to choose from is this cat. This cat is choosing a more peaceful way. This cat is me, because that was a lot of work. And when I got to where I wanted to go, I wanted to climb higher, but I didn't have enough time because I knew I had to blaze my trail back because I never went by the trail. So next time I'm going to go by the trail, I'm going to take the easy road so I can climb higher. So sometimes, like, I've blazed through my life this way all along. I've always blazed my own trail. I've always taken the hardest road. Because I wanted to get there faster, right? I wanted to cut off the corners. I wanted to get there faster. And my girlfriend Lisa and I were talking. She's at work right now, but we were talking. She left me a message, and she said that, same thing to her. She goes, I've always taken the harder route because, we're all on our path. We're all going about it in our own way. It doesn't mean one's better than the other. Some just take the harder path because they want to climb faster, higher, quicker, right? They don't want to waste their time on the trail. They just want to get to climbing. And I kept getting messages while I was out there about go big or go home. Are you going to remain small and held back by the man, the mom, the brother, the uncle, the sister, the cousin, the religion, the mindset, your lower self? Or are you going to choose to expand and grow larger? And I got to the top of the tower and I said, I'm with the cat man. I'm with the cat man. I saw his big head up there on the rock and I'm with the cat man. And yet I thought, there I was blazing this trail, all cut up and banged up and bruised up, and knowing that I have to stop climbing now. I can't climb any higher because it's going to get dark and we need to blaze our way back. So sometimes it doesn't work out that way, right? Sometimes you don't, maybe that's for the young ones, right? Maybe it's time for me to take an easier road. Maybe I've done a lot of that hard, heavy lifting, climbing, crazy off-road adventure. And now it's time for me I've done the groundwork. I've already done the groundwork. Now I just want to climb higher. So I'm going to get there in an easier way. I call in peace now. This is a lotus on the tail of this cat. I don't have to go wilding all the time. I've done that. I leave that now to the young ones, right? I'm going to take an easier road and I'm calling in peace. And I can still continue to climb. I'll climb higher because I don't have to deal with all that baggage of being tore up and ripped up and shredded. I've already done that. Been there, done that. Don't need to do it again. Segues into the next one. This is the money tree. Money does indeed grow on trees. Money does indeed grow on trees. And I'm calling in all of the abundance that the universe and myself will bestow upon me. Look at the mirrored reflection at the bottom. I require a lot to take care of all of these animals. I require a lot to make everyone comfortable. And I should not have to scrimp and save in order for them to have what they deserve. And I don't need to, because money does indeed grow on trees. So if you need to plant yourself a money tree, I have a lucky bamboo tree and it brings in money. You can literally get money trees. I think I had a little money plant in my house, but I didn't know how to grow it. I overwatered it. I gave too much to it. I should have held back and allowed it to give to me. So money does indeed grow on trees. Hey, no chasing the squirrels. So those are your items to choose from. The peaceful cat that's already done the work. It's going to take the easy road. The little fox that needs to indeed camouflage and not tell everything that's going on, because not everyone is your friend. Or money does grow on trees. All right. Let's now clear our energy. Call in the divine. Call in all our archangels. Call in our ascended masters. Call in our Father God, our Mother Goddess. Call in all of our passed over dead loved ones. And all those in the highest white light, alien or human. Friends, acquaintances, family, anyone that can help me, I call them in. Because I won't abuse it. I use my abundance to help others. So I will receive from others. Whoever wants to help, call them in, right? Call in the spirit of the land of Sedona, the ancestors, the elementals, the fairies, the dragon energy, the unicorns. Fire, wind, earth, water, all the elements. Squirrels are chasing Raven and Bea. Hi, Amy, Shailene. Hi, Frank. I hope you guys saw the items to choose from. Cicadas are saying hello. Okay. Quickly again. The little fox, resting, not showing all of their secrets, not trusting everyone, knowing how to compromise, but knowing how to camouflage. Art of stillness and observance. The peaceful cat who has blazed a trail but now chooses the easy road, now chooses things to come easy, not so hard, not has already done the hard work, now calls in everything to be brought forward. And the money tree, the reflective money tree. All right. So I've got a new deck. I think I told you guys about this deck before. It's called the 13 Holy Nights, and it has nothing to do with Christmas. Very odd. It's herbs and animals. Makes a lot of sense to me as the teacher. I prefer herbs and animals. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the fox, the camouflaged fox. This little fox originally had a sacred leaf right here. It's been broken off. Something they had wasn't protected, and they lost half of it. Right when I say that, it pricked my finger. Sammy sliced my finger this morning, my feral Sammy, and it's really tender, and it pricked on the edge of that. Makes me think of, I keep thinking about Sleeping Beauty. Someone was asleep, wasn't aware of what was going on, and they lost something, and it hurt. And I'm looking at a vulture flying above me, a California condor, death, transformation, and rebirth. So this little fox lost something, their nest egg. They were sleeping on the job. They weren't aware of what was going on. They weren't paying attention. They trusted somebody or something, a situation that took from them. But there was a death of that little fox, remember. But then there's a transformation, and now there's a renewal and a rebirth of this little fox. The fox is now more aware, is not quite so open to revealing to others. Recognizes the art of stillness and observation. Amy Shailene. Too many, Spirit. Come on, let's not do this all day today, shall we? I don't need to bump my head. Too many. Still very warm here in Sedona. It's probably still too warm to be on this side. For those who chose the little fox, I was told I chose the little fox. Okay? For those who chose the little fox. Are you ready for this? Are you even ready for this? I was told I chose this little fox, right? Arctic fox. This is craziness. The thing that's interesting about the Arctic fox is Arctic would be cold. I chose the cold fox. Frozen emotion. I chose this fox. The snow fox. They are very good at camouflage. They change their coat, goes white to blend in with the snow. Foxy. Foxy. I was called Foxy when I was young. That's what they said. You're Foxy. That's what they called me. So I guess I am the little Arctic fox. I was asleep on the job. I trusted the wrong people. I lost my nest egg. Yeah, my brother stole it because I was asleep on the job. I didn't realize that family could steal and manipulate and do such horrible things. I trusted. I was trusting. I was innocent. So, song in the background, I like my men all incompetent. Well, that man was not incompetent. I was incompetent. I trusted, and I was stolen from. I lost it all. So the Arctic fox is able to live in sub-zero temperatures, very frigid temperatures, and I'm at home there. I'm at home in this cold energy. The coat that I have keeps me quite warm. This one is sly. They're known for trickery, cunning, also mischievous, playful. They're very alluring. They're beautiful. You've ever seen an Arctic fox? They're magical qualities that are a contrast to the harsh conditions that they live in. got all this ability. So if this fox has slipped into your holy nights, because this is called, what did I call it? The 13 holy nights. Not only will you survive the challenges on this, in this human life, on your path, but you will do it with grace and with style. You will feel completely at home no matter what the climate is. So it's funny, I said it's still warm over here, right? You will be able to adapt to the circumstances, Spirit says. And I thought of something a second ago. Bring it back, Spirit. Makes me think of the victory sparrow, right? The victory sparrow can survive anywhere in the world. It's a symbol, the fox, the Arctic fox, is a symbol of good fortune to come. So I called it in, and I'm ready for it, right? So what might look like chance to others is actually wit, cunning, predetermination, and natural skill and talent. This just doesn't come to me. I've created this. I've manifested this. I've been able to do this. I've been able to successfully navigate that little fox, my previous little fox, that little one that was on the trail that succumbed. Don't even know why. Why did that happen? You had the ability because you were trusting. You were young. That was a juvenile fox, right? But I've now learned. I might have lost that nest egg. I was asleep on the job, but I will never be that way again. I've learned from that. I've been able to navigate daunting, sometimes unforgiving terrain, because this is freezing, right? So if you're feeling like your life skills, your abilities, your intuition doesn't amount to much, Spirit says that's not the truth. Think about all the things that you can do. I thought about this the other day. I can read, I can write, I can sing, I can dance, I can see, I can feel, I can hear, I can learn, I can grow. There's a lot of things that I can do. There's a lot of things that I can do. Fox is certain that your abilities, you have a list of abilities that you don't give yourself credit for. Sometimes it's the basic things, right? Like paying attention, observing. This one fell asleep at the job. They were lulled into complacency because they were too trusting. But now they've learned. Doesn't mean I go around and I mistrust everyone, but my trust is proven, not just given anymore. I'm going to watch you. I'm going to observe you. I'm going to see before I make any decisions, before I make any choices. Hi, Nandini. Yes, doing well. Thank you. Hope you are as well. So believe in yourself and put your magic to good use. Use the skills. This fox, unless I showed you the fox, you might not have seen the fox. It was blending into its surroundings, camouflaged, like invisibly cloaked. But she's right there at the top, right? You may walk right by her and not see her. Now, I will say that little red fox, the gray fox, it was a gray fox, desert fox. It blended right in. I literally stepped right, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's right there. But it was dead at that point. So when Arctic fox comes, it's saying that right now you've got confidence in your superpowers. You've got judgment. And it's good judgment. And it's intelligent right now that you remain unseen. It talks about, this one's pouncing. It's at the top. Can you see it? It's pouncing. But with precise timing. Knowing exactly when to. I've been getting the praying mantis totem has been coming up a lot. I saw my very first stick mantis. Never seen one before. It's living on my plant over there. And the message is the art of stillness and knowing when to strike. Same thing with the fox. Knowing exactly, ready, and they dive down deep into the snow, right? Use your cunning responsibly. Use this art of stillness. Be clear with yourself. What are your intentions? What are your desires? What are you co-creating with the divine? Ask yourself, am I in alignment with my highest? Am I in alignment? Because if I am in alignment, there's no stopping me, right? I'm happy that you're happy to listen. Be careful that because you've got the ability, remember the fox is tricky, the fox is cunning, the fox can be mischievous. Don't allow yourself to slip just because you have the ability. Like for myself, I have the gift of sight. I see things. I can read people. I see things that other people don't see. I can remote view, but it's not okay to step into someone else's personal space and do that. That's cheating. That's not okay unless I say it's okay. For someone to come in and remote view me? No. So I wouldn't do the same, right? So what we want to do is we want to aim for an outcome that's in the highest good for everyone involved, not just ourselves. What are my intentions? Don't resort to trickery, right? Even though you can. It's about strategizing. It's about planning. It's about, as I said, working with the divine. Before I pounce on something, I need to make sure, are we in alignment here? Are we doing this for the right reasons? Is it for the highest good of all? So for myself, I have the ability, I'm going to segue over to this for a second, for the money tree, right? When I call in a huge amount of abundance, I call in that abundance because I know that I won't abuse it. I know that when I call in and I ask for abundance and I ask for help, it's so that I can help others. It's so I can help my animals. It's so I can help other people. Bring me a great amount of abundance so that no one has to struggle. So everyone deserves the best. So everyone deserves the best. No one should have to scrimp or save. You should see the trees right now. I'm moving them. I'm moving the trees. I'm moving the trees. Could be representing a family tree. You're moving someone by what you're saying and how you're saying it. Thank you, everyone, for the messages. Just about to start my shift for the day. I'll pop back on later to listen to the rest. Have a magical day, everyone, says Breezer. Thank you, Breezer. We will write you down. All right. That's for the little Arctic fox. For those who chose the peaceful cat, the cat who's done her work, his work, the cat who now chooses an easier way, the cat who is ready to receive, still climbing higher, still has the ability, but is going to take the path of least resistance. I'm going to not fight my way through. I've done that. I've done the whole Aries thing where you have to slam your head through a wall to get through it. I don't need to do that. I'm going to use my head. I'm going to choose the peace. All right. I love it when spirit agrees. All right. Hi, mamas. Hi. You want to come up and say hi to the mom? Want to come up here? Come here. Come here. It's Raven. Oh, who wants to say hi to the mommy? Do you? Do you? Forgot to put the book away. Hi. Hi, Bea. Hi. I love my children. Yes. Okay. We're going to go to this deck. For those who chose the cat, we're going to the messages from your animal spirit guides. This is Stephen Farmer, who is also a shaman that works with the animal messengers, just like me. It's been his path. It's been my path since I was born into the forest, speaking the language of the animals. Correct neutrality on all levels. Too many. I want support for my back. It feels good to have support. Doesn't it? Feels good to be supported. Talked about that the other day when I got new bras, and dang, that feel good. Feels so good to be supported. Tired of holding these puppies up. Are all of my cats at home? Yes. All of my cats are at home. I have 3 in the front catio my temporary catio, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the back, and the rest of them are sleeping in the house. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I'm going to buy a catio, a $400 catio for the front. I'm calling it in. It's important that they have it. They need it. And I'm going to use the temporary shelter that I created and run that along the side of the house here to give them another area. And I'm going to do a shoot off the front for the grass. But yeah, So interesting because this one came out in reverse, and I'm walrus and camel. Camel, trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. It came in reverse, so maybe you don't believe that. Walrus, remain vigilant about the current situation. Pay attention to the signs and omens and don't let them dictate your choices. Don't let them dictate your choices. And it's funny because what I heard was the pigs, the ones that are pushing things around. They're showing me the wild boar. I've had wild boar in my front yard for the last while, and last night I had five babies in my yard, and all the big wild boars. And I emptied out my refrigerator. Time to go make dinner for my developmentally disabled clients. I'd love a card. Absolutely, Sunshine Chi. Thank you for doing the work that you do. I took all of the bread and all of the muffins and all of the. We have a food bank here, and they've asked us to go to it because they said if we don't support it in Sedona, that it's going to be shut down. And Spirit says use all your resources, and sometimes I can get dog and cat foods, and I can get chicken, so I give it for my dogs. So I've been going, and I have a best friend that's got 6 kids, and so I got muffins and cookies and cakes and tortillas, and I put everything in the freezer thinking I was going to give them to her, but in the end I start nibbling and I don't need it. So I emptied out my entire freezer last night for the javelinas. And yeah, people say don't feed the wild ones. Well, the wild ones are tearing up my garden, so I'd rather have them eat that and give it to their little babies. But I find it interesting that what I heard was don't trust, pay attention to them and don't let them dictate to you. They push you around. Somebody's being pushed around. So let's go back to the camel. This is an Andromedan camel, one hump camel. And sometimes it feels like we're going through, like I did yesterday when I went on that hike, like I was trekking through this vast desert and had no idea where I was going. You know, I couldn't see. I couldn't see for the forest, for the trees. Sometimes you feel like you're on a desert where there's nothing in front of you. It's just barren. You're thirsting for comfort. You're thirsting for calm and peace and solace and hugs and love. And you're having to rely upon yourself. The camel holds water in their body to nurse. So that's a message right there. The camel holds water when they need it within their body. I've been holding a lot of water weight. And then I heard yesterday, you need to balance your water. And so I thought, all right, I'm going to get into a tub. I got into a Epsom salt tub of hot water, and I started to balance the water within me. And I said, I laid on my back and I said, all right, balance the water within me, which is emotion, right? And then flush out all that is not necessary, pull it out the bottom. That's what the salt does. And then I went on that crazy hike. And so I'm laughing here about how you hold your water to help you through this time, because I haven't been getting the love. I haven't had support here. I have it from Soul Family, and I love you guys for that, but I don't have it here. So I've been holding on to this water, this reserve, this water that's been in my body. I find that so interesting. That thirst for expression and for love and for comfort and for solace that I wasn't receiving. So I held on to it in my body. So I had all this extra water weight on my body. So interesting. All the challenges in my lifetime, in your lifetime, that you've successfully handled, all the knowledge and the wealth that you've accumulated as this cat, right? You've taken the hard road. You've blazed a trail. You have taken the hardest route possible because you wanted to get to the top. You wanted to cut the corners and you didn't want to take the slow, easy trail. You wanted to expand quickly. But now you're starting to balance out and you're realizing I've done all the hard stuff. Now, with all of the knowledge that I've gleaned, all of the lessons that I have learned, I can type. Why type? I was going to say I can cope with adversity, but why did I say type? That just came out for some reason. Whatever adversity comes my way, I know how to handle it. I've been there, done that, right? Gotten the badge. And I move forward determined and courageously. But first of all, I need to figure out where I'm going to go. Where am I going to go? And I said when I was on the trail yesterday, I'm going to that spot. That's where I'm going. And I pointed to the top of the mountain. I'm going there. And as I moved along, I let go. I wasn't worried. I wasn't fearful. I wasn't stressed out that there was no trail. And I just know I'm going there. So I'm going to go down and up and over and wherever. I didn't hesitate. I allowed my intuition and my inner compass to guide me. I was at ease. I was protected. I felt. Now, as it started to get darker, right, I needed to be a little bit more aware of what was going on. And so we call upon, and I call upon the spirit creatures. I called upon when I saw that little fox in the art of camouflage, and that fox didn't make it. That was its natural surroundings, and it didn't make it. It was laid out there in front of me. And I thought, I'm calling on the spirit of the land. And I did. I called upon the spirit of the land, and I said, all right, lead us back to the trail. Because my body, I have an inner compass. My body ends up getting back on trail. And I have what it takes. I'm resourceful. I'm determined. I'm adaptable. I have the survival skills that I have now acquired that little juvenile hadn't acquired. And I said, when I take people, I wouldn't want to take anybody on a tour of the land unless they wanted to go wilding, because that's what I did. I went wilding. I won't take my friends on the trail that I went. I made my own trail. I'm all cut and bruised and stabbed, and I got to where I needed to go, and it was fun. But it was definitely the difference between driving a Lexus and driving a Jeep, right? I went off-roading. So now we segue into this one. The walrus says, remain vigilant, pay attention to the signs and omens, and let them dictate your choices. Well, I was already back down, walking my way back down the side of the mountain when I came across, and I didn't know where the trail was. I was like, okay, where's the trail? Like I went around in circles. So I feel like maybe that little fox got caught out at night and didn't make it back to its little den. So I paid attention to that sign, remain vigilant. That was a sign for me. That was that animal's surroundings, and yet they were laid out right there on a path. Like, why? What happened? What happened to that little one? So signs and omens show up in myriads of ways. That was a sign that I needed to pay attention to. Even one that was comfortable in that surroundings can fall and succumb to the elements. That's what happened. Maybe it should have been in its den by a certain time, but got lost because it was out wilding and it wasn't equipped. So you know that when I speak and I make a statement, and I know we all know when I state something and it's in the highest, like when I said, when I call in abundance, it's because I know that I'm not going to abuse it. It knows, and spirit knows, it knows. So wherever the abundance is coming to help me from, also knows that I won't abuse it, that I am here to help others. I'm here to help my animals, here to help others, right? I'm not going to abuse it. So the trees started to answer back. The wind started answering back. I know what the wind is saying to me when I state something and then I get a response, right? That little stick mantis, the art of stillness and knowing when to strike, got onto my finger and didn't want to leave my finger. I had it on my hand for about 45 minutes. It would not leave my finger, and I didn't want to break its little legs because it was holding on tight, and I realized it wanted the warmth. It was searching for warmth. And so I kept saying, where would you like to go? I felt hot and I wanted to go where it was cool. But the fact of the matter is that mantis was enjoying the heat. It wanted this. It wanted the warmth. It's just like I was searching for warmth, right? Remember the Arctic fox? I'm comfortable in that cold environment. I come from Canada. I come from cold country. I loved it when I was in Wisconsin and it was 35 below. I was comfortable in the cold. I can always put on clothes, right? My warm clothes kept me warm. My issue is I can only take off so much and it's too warm for me. So that little mantis, for me, I wanted cool, but it wanted warmth. So I realized I needed to give it warmth somewhere else. I took it and brought it to a warm little tree that was in the sun and put it there. That was a sign for me. It was a sign for me. Somebody might want something different than you do. Are you able to find a compromise, right? And I keep getting from spirit, in order for me to get what I want, I'm going to have to compromise. In order for me and the other to get both what we want, it's going to be necessary to find a compromise. What must you have? Figure out what must you have first. And where would you be willing to compromise? Well, what I said is What I must have is every single one of my animals goes with me wherever I go. All of them, Buster and Licorice, all of them. Other than that, I'm open to compromise. So it might be that because I said I love Sedona, why would I leave Sedona? I love it here. And Spirit says you will if it's better. So right now, pay attention to the signs. When I said that, the cicadas started making noise, right? You will if it's better. We always want what's in the best. Pay attention to when you're thinking about something, all of a sudden you see a rainbow. The rainbow is a promise of good things after a storm, right? When you're thinking about a relationship issue, or you're thinking about a career issue or everyday concerns, as in where's the money coming from to buy that catio, that needs to be bought immediately because I'm going to California in October and that needs to be set up before I go. Someone else is coming to stay in my home and she can't be fussing with the animals. They need to be able to go out that window into that catio and be safe, and I need to feel that they're safe and secure. So all of that needs to happen before I go. That needs to happen. So when I'm thinking about all of these things and whether do I take the vacation that I'm planning on, right? I ask Spirit, give me the simple signs. Well, the simple signs is you're going to get the window. There's a window insert, and my windows go this way. They go sideways. You can buy the ones that slide for the windows that go up and down, but mine don't go up and down. They go sideways. It's an older home. So I found one. It's in St. George, Utah. It's $30, but it's going to be $65, $75 to mail it to me. I need that insert. I also need that catio. So Spirit, I will get that insert and I will get the ability to get that catio if I'm going to California in October, right? My plan is to go to California in October. So whether I take that vacation depends on whether those things take place, because that must happen before I go. So that's just an example for you, right? Watch, listen, follow the signs, pay attention. Is there going to be a delay? Is there going to be a thought that comes out of nowhere that says, well, perhaps maybe this is a better way to do it or handle it, or I'm not sure. Look for things that you hear repeatedly. I kept seeing praying mantis, the art of stillness and knowing when, right? Knowing when to strike. That mantis wanted to be where it was warm. The one that has been stalling, that's been waiting. Song right now, you showed up. You showed up. Well, I'm planning on going to California, but if the love of my life shows up in Arizona before then, guess what? Guess who's not going to California, right? You showed up, I just heard. So if you're talking about, you're asking a question or you're trying to figure something out and you go to the grocery store and you see, whoa, they've got a giant phoenix. What did I say when I was talking? I saw, he's gone now. He came and delivered his message, the California condor. That's death, transformation, and rebirth. If you see a phoenix, that's the phoenix has to burn itself to ash and be completely reborn as it rises back again. You might have a message in a dream. I have extremely lucid dreams, right? I got to think about my dream last night. It talked about a friend of mine wanted to have a little puppy, and what ended up being brought forward was this little tiger stripe kitty. Looked like this, actually. And they said, well, you should get this little cat. This cat is here. But they wanted a little dog. I'm saying I'm a cat. I don't want a dog. Dogs beg for your attention. They do tricks for you. They roll over. Cats don't do that. What I'm searching for and what is searching for me is the cat man. I'm the cat lady, so I require a cat man, not a dog. So in the end of the dream, that person, my friend wanted the little dog, not me. I ended up taking that cat because that was that was in my dream. That's what they showed me. I took the cat. So it may be showing me about a person in my life. Is that a dog person or is that a cat person? Sirius is the dog star planet, right? Lyra, the Lyrans, we are the cat's planet. It's like the Lexus and the Jeep. You don't go to a Lexus dealership to get parts for the Jeep. I don't go to a dog to get what I require for a cat. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with the dog. It's just I'm not a dog person, even though I do have dogs and I do love them and they're helpful. They have their place, just like friends in my life. I have friends that are dogs and they are companions to me, but they are not like me. I'm a cat. So pay attention to signs and repetitive messages. And I'm mine's constantly. I know what my repetitive messages are. Um, if you recall your dreams in the morning and even later in the day, there's a reason. There's a reason you're recalling your dreams. If you are seeing something about a specific city, it's showing you something. I kept getting Colorado, Colorado, Colorado for the longest time. And I'm like, what, am I going to Colorado? Like, Colorado is, this is the Wild West. Colorado's even wilder. It's more rugged. It's definitely beautiful. But I kept, so what I was surmising was it was speaking about someone else in my, they were in Colorado. I wasn't. But the city of, it's funny. The phoenix rising from the ashes. I met someone and he lives in Phoenix. And I said, I would never live in Phoenix. I would boil and I would burn up. Well, that's what the phoenix is doing, right? They're dying of their old way. They're completely consumed by fire and then they'll be reborn. But it could be a subtle way of saying something in Phoenix is important for me. Someone in Phoenix is important for me. And I thought about that. And my friend Diana asked me if I knew anyone that offered a sweat, like sweat lodges. And I do have friends that do that at their house. But my friend, this man that I met that lives in Phoenix, his name is Fab. He's fabulous. He does sweats all the time. And so I sent him a message and I said, I don't know if I'm being guided, and I take it or leave it. It's just, it is what it is. I said, but she asked me if I knew of a place. I said, I don't know if you have a solid structure or if this is a tent that you can erect. Cause he told me he does retreats in Sedona. He comes to Sedona. And I said, because I have a sanctuary, a garden sanctuary, a beautiful place here. I've got a cement place where you could do a sweat lodge on the other side, my medicine wheel. And I said, my friend wants to come to a sweat. And I said, if you need a place to set it up, I said, maybe that's what Spirit is, offering you. So that was the guidance for me. I sent out the message. I don't know. I haven't looked to see if he even read it. I don't know if it's happening or not, but I paid attention, right? I paid attention to that. So also, if you don't get signs right away, don't freak out. Just pay attention, right? If you have thoughts, write them down. If you don't understand the thoughts, when that animal showed up, I kept getting fox over and over and over. And then I saw a dead fox, right? So the message was what we said. You might have been saying too much. You might have played too long out in that area and not gotten back to your spot of safety in time. Whatever that message was, the fox spirit guide was with me. And the walrus is wisdom. And the walrus is telling you, pay attention to these symbols and signs. Trust the signs. This is how we are being guided. So we need to be watchful. We need to adapt, which is, again, segueing with the little fox, right? Adaptability, paying attention, the art of observance. This walrus also gives me another message. I have another deck, and it's called Strange Valentine, the card, and it's a woman that has a heart. She's wearing a heart, like I'm wearing ravens on my neck. It'd be like I'm wearing a heart around my neck. And then there's this giant yeti that looked like a walrus. It had fangs like a walrus, had big claws, and she was nervous of the yeti, and the yeti was nervous of the girl. But they both held each other's hearts, and the walrus / yeti said, these fangs aren't here to hurt you. These claws aren't here to hurt you. They're here to protect you. But the message was about doing a lot of learning and growing and understanding and healing in past relationships, especially long-term love relationships. And while you're going through the lesson is not fun, but absorb the lessons, because what's coming soon is that you're going to bump into someone that's going to reawaken feelings, maybe lost feelings that you thought no one else could reawaken. And that time is coming soon. So that's a segue message. Ooh, I just got a wave of heat. So there's Phoenix rising again. Interesting message about that. I feel like I know what that's talking about. All right. So now we're going to go on to the money tree, the magical mirrored money tree. I love money. Money loves me. It's an energy, and it's a helpful energy in this world. And that's why I'm grateful to have as much as humanly and magically and spiritually, physically and energetically possible. We're going to go to my deck. And look, oh my God, look at this. Look what's right on top. The mantis. The art of stillness and knowing when to strike. Can't make this stuff up, man. Crack for neutrality. The synchronicities, that's when you know spirit's afoot. Remember they said magic is afoot. For those who chose the money tree, I do. And they're little hearts too. They're little crystal hearts. You don't have to worry about your trust issues with me because I got them too. Somebody is saying. Remember, I said trust is not just given anymore. We are a safe place for money to land. Heck yeah. Heck freaking yeah. Love the money tree. All right. For those who chose the money tree. We get 2. You want my heart? It's already broke. Good. That's how the love gets in. That's how the light gets in. That's interesting. So we'll do this one first. And I see the cactus. And the hummingbird by the cactus makes me think of me because my daughter said I am the hummingbird, and I am. The hummingbird totem says you will accomplish what might seem impossible to yourself as well as others. Remember what I said that I was calling in, right? The window insert for the cat door and the $400 catio. I will accomplish what might seem impossible to myself as well as others. Lighten up and grab the sweetness of life. It truly is a beautiful day no matter what the weather. My friend Diana this morning, she said, it's so beautiful up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm so excited. It's gorgeous here today. Not a cloud, not a chemtrail in the sky. It's blue and magical. Focus on the fact that you are the hummingbird. You have the ability to accomplish the impossible. You have seen the flight of these tiny yet magnificent little hummingbirds. They can go up, down, and sideways like a helicopter. Incredible dynamics in a tiny body. By this example, we notice that the energy is what is huge, not the size of the animal or person. You may appear insignificant to another. You may appear fragile, and this could be no further from the truth. Go towards the sweetness, the light, the love, and allow the entirety of your spiritual team to take away any feelings that are challenging, fearful, hopeless, or doubtful. Remember, you can do anything. You have the power to move in many directions at once. Choose to move in the light of love, and you will be blessed. Remember, is this in the highest good for everyone involved? We're not going to manipulate circumstances because it's something that benefits us and not others. Frank says he loves the money and it can land at his front door. Me too. Hell yeah, come to my front door. And then this one, the wolf. Looks like the wolf is in the desert. Song in the background. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe. But look at where I ended up. I'm all good already. So moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me. If you don't want to see me dancing with somebody, don't show up. I know who this is talking to. This shifty wolf. Tag, you're it. Are you constantly engaging in a game of tag, a continued game of push and pull, or tug of war? It's time to empower yourself by letting go of emotionally unhealthy relationships. It's time to stop obsessing over people that are not returning your attention or are emotionally unavailable. Self-respect means not acting desperate or needy. It doesn't feel good to always be the one that's constantly contacting, constantly reaching out, does it? Look into why you're constantly contacting people who aren't responding or returning your attention. Is your wounded inner child needing to feel loved? Recognize that it is an inside job. No one else can fill that void but you. Remember all that water I was carrying? I was filling my own Andromedan hump with my own emotional water because there wasn't someone there. I was filling it up myself. No one else can fill that void but you. Focus on your own path and stop acting needy or clingy with people that you like. Stop constantly text messaging, email, and calling. Stop checking up on your ex. Just stop. Why not allow them to show an interest in you rather than being the constant pursuer? What you chase will run. Try something different. Focus on you. Allow your friend or love interest their choice. If they don't appreciate your presence, then allow them to appreciate your absence, which is what the song is about. If you have a problem with me dancing with somebody else, don't show up because I'm not where you left me, right? I'm not that person that I was before. I don't chase. I focus on me. I appreciate my presence. And if you don't appreciate my presence, then you will appreciate my absence. They may just stop running, turn around, and come looking for you. When you recognize your own self-worth, you won't give yourself away so easily. You will begin to be more choosy about who deserves your attention. I like this. Chords of gratitude. I lost you for 20 minutes. I'll have back and listen again later today. Sorry about that. Not sure why. I haven't heard that from anyone else. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think we're just going to go on to the runes and the charms. Alignment. X marks the spot twice. Twice. Someone is saying, I'm not okay. I'm barely holding on. Well, then you better do some self-work. This is fertility. Information of this message. New beginnings, fertility, the hero god, Ing. This rune is akin to the moon, an intuitive part of our nature with its urge towards harmonizing, adjusting in the sphere of personal relationships. Ingos embodies the need to share, the yearning desire to search for similarities. As I said, X marks the spot twice in alignment, right? What I am searching for is searching for me. The completion of beginnings is what Ingos requires. The completion of beginnings. I've done that. Don't have to do that again, right? I've already laid my foundation. I'm out looking for another who has also laid their own foundation. This is a rune of great power. It may mark a time of rightful, joyful deliverance, a new life, a new path. Receiving it means you have now the strength to achieve completion, resolution, from which comes a new beginning. Above all, completion is crucial here. It may be timely that you complete some project now, my catio. Yes, it is timely to complete that. And if so, make that your first priority. It is, absolutely. Perhaps a difficult state of mind can be clarified or resolved now. The appearance of this rune indicates that you must fertilize the ground for your own deliverance. All things change and we cannot live permanently amid obstructions. Ingos signals your emergence from a closed chrysalis state. It's the cicadas, right? They've come out of their chrysalis. As you resolve and clear away the old, you will experience a release from tension and uncertainty. You may be required to free yourself from a rut, a habit, or a relationship, from some deep cultural or behavioral pattern, some activity that was quite proper to the self that you were leaving behind. That little fox died. That fox, that young juvenile fox, that innocent way is dead. It's over. I lost my ass on that, right? You took what was mine because I wasn't awake. Pay attention. That will never happen again. I will now know my surroundings and I will know when it's time to go undercover. I will know when it's time to stop playing and go to a place of safety. The time of birth is always a critical one. Movement can involve danger, and yet movement is timely and it leads out of danger. The time has come to enter the delivery room. Another of the cycle runes, Ingos counsels to prepare, being centered and grounded, freeing yourself from all unwanted influences and seeing that here you are indeed prepared to open to the will of the heaven and await your deliverance with calm certainty. I love this. It absolutely goes along with this cat that's done it. Been there, done all that, right? I'm going to await deliverance. I've voiced my concerns. The rebirth and the renewal, right? Again, the California condors circling above my house. He was gone until right then we talked about the rebirth, renewal. It showed right back up again. And this time it's going to be easy. because I know what pitfalls there are, and I'm not going to fall down that rabbit hole again as Alice in Wonderland. Charms. Alice in Wonderland entered the Mad Hatter's tea party. She walked the edge of the 3D world, peeking in among its associates, but I don't live in Wonderland. I know where my tribe is. I peek in and I peek out. I live in the 5th and 6th dimension. How cute are you? Look at this brand new beginning. This little bird sitting on a little branch. A brand new branch. A brand new branch. Remember that little praying mantis that I took to the sun and set it on a brand new little branch? Time is now, is the message. The art of stillness, knowing when to strike. The time is now. It's time sensitive. Time sensitive. Pegasus, the divine, the rainbow over its back. Look, Mommy, flying horses. My first spirit animal, Pegasus, the divine. This is a frisky pony. This one's kicking up their heels to enjoy. Time is now. Time is now to enjoy. This is a Dalmatian. The tail's missing. It's definitely a Dalmatian. It's a spotted dog with its tail missing. Lost my ass on that, right? They wanted to turn me into a coat. They wanted to take who I was and sacrifice me for themselves. It wasn't a sacrifice for the greater good. I was to be sacrificed for their vanity. I left my tail behind and I moved forward. It's just like the lizard, right? To get out of a sticky situation, I left my tail behind. And then the sun. This came up last week, and then it came up later that day. The sun looks like a throwing star. The sun causes everything to grow. The sun illuminates where the moon will cast shadows, but the sun is everything is about to become perfectly clear. All lies, deception, and manipulation are about to be uncovered as the truth is revealed. So it's best now to stand in your integrity and be very truthful as all is about to be illuminated. Hi, Natasha. All right. Nandini. Reisure. Bad romance playing. I don't want to be friends. Sunshine tea. Tell me who wants a reading today. Ingrid. Tina. Tina's Lisa. Lisa Lichney. Natasha. Amy Shailene. Where's my Amy? Where's my other Amy? Amy Fuarte, where are you? Julie Zechariah. Frank, want a reading? All right, I'm going to move forward. Hi, Kevin. Would you like a reading from Spirit? Let me know. All right, we're going to work with different decks today. I'm kind of excited because I'm using different decks. Yes, please, Kevin. All right. This is for Nandini. Nandini. Laurie Hamilton. Nandini. Hi, mamas. Hi. Who the girl named Raven? Want to come up, say hi to the mom? Want to come up? Hi. Oh, are you a good girl? Yeah, a good girl. Oh, here comes Bea. Nandini. Starling. Now is the time to get out into the world and connect in authentic ways. Authentic ways, because if you fake it, pretend to be anything or anybody else or like others when you aren't that, then you are going to draw to you those people. So you will not have with you, around you, ones like you that you need. I am a cat. I will have dogs all around me. If I pretend to be a dog, I am a cat. So if you're authentic and you get out into the world authentically, you will draw towards you what you authentically require. Breezer. Breezer. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Breezer. Dolomite. Stay strong in your faith. Dolomite is the stone in Wisconsin that I have dolomite hearts in my medicine wheel. I brought them back. Cost me $75 to bring a bunch of dolomite rocks back. Rough. Frank. Stay strong in your faith. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. So if you lose, so ask for faith. Give me reasons to feel faithful, because you're going to require that in order to get what it is that you want. Breezer. Sunshine tea. Sunshine tea. Hi, Cecile. Would you like a message from Spirit? Let me know. Sunshine tea. This is the Dragon Oracle. Sunshine tea. Earth and Water Dragon. Create the foundation for new growth. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. And there's confirmation for that, for Sunshine Tea. Ingrid. Hey, leave it. Somebody might be in my yard because Bea never loses it like that. Bea, come see the mom. Bea. Wow. Ingrid. Meadowlark. Smile. You will soon experience a wonderful journey of inner discovery. Cecile. Hold on. There's a man in my yard. Sorry, you guys. You could have used that time to get a drink or something. It was my neighbor, 2 houses down, got a new dog, and she's been in my yard at night. And he says, well, it's because of your cats. And I said, no, my cats are in the catios. None of my cats have been out since the coyote came. Your dog is out. Your dog needs to be watched. Your dog is wandering in the neighborhood. Don't blame it on my cats. My cats are in the house. And he goes, well, maybe they're after your cat's food, because I leave food out for my feral cats. Listen to my messages, right? Your dog is out of control. Your dog is not under control, and you're trying to blame me. No, my animals are all inside. It's not my animals, and my dogs are behind a fenced yard. Keep your dog on a leash. Keep your dog on a leash. Interesting. Keep your dog on a leash. Remember dogs and cats? He's my friend, actually. He's the guy who saw the lightning strike that I saw. He was taking a selfie for some girl when it hit, and when he went to take the pictures when the lightning hit, and he's like, ah! Anyway, he's a neighbor. Tina, your message. Keep your dog on a leash. My cats are all where they're supposed to be. That was fast. Tina, silver dragon. Illuminates your potential with higher light. So the silver dragon illuminates your potential with the higher light. Look at the key that's highlighted. Key's on fire. Access untapped resources and look to your soul. See higher possibilities. Go within. Don't go without. Lisa. Tina's Lisa. Correct neutrality on all levels. Bluebird. You are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. Yay! I like that. That's what the cat called for. Peace and happiness, right? Bluebird of happiness. That's beautiful. All right. Correct for neutrality. Lisa Lichney. My friend Lisa Lichney, who unfortunately has to work today, so she can't be with us. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Lisa Lichney. Ooh, you got 2, Chicklet. 2. I like that one first. One's upright and one is in reverse. Let's see. For Lisa Lichney, Alpha Dragon. I like this one. Harness the divine masculine power of creation. Destroy the old. Visualize your dream. Help to manifest a new world. So remember, the phoenix has to burn itself to ashes before it can rise as something new. So she's being told to destroy the old, visualize your dream, help to manifest a new world, harness that divine masculine power of creation. I've been living so long in my masculine energy, being the man and the feminine. I'm ready to be in my feminine energy. You want to be the man? Feel free. I'm ready for the feminine. Now she also got this one. It was in reverse. So let's see. Pure white dragon from Orion. Orion, the dog star. Orion is Sirius. Sirius is the dog star. Transform your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty, and let your wings of light grow and expand. Pure white dragon from Orion transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. So, in order to process what you know and act with truth and honesty and allow your wings of light to grow and expand, you must call on the energy of the pure white dragon from Orion. It's funny, we have a friend named Rion. And I like this a lot. So that's for Lisa Lichney. Natasha Whiteside. Chords. Natasha Whiteside. Ooh, 2. Vulture. Oh my goddess. Now you're going to have to go back, Natasha Whiteside, and you're going to have to listen when I bring up the vulture. What was I talking about when the vulture appeared? Because it's your messenger. Accept the inevitable. Let go of the past and welcome a rebirth to begin. White turkey. The power to heal the earth is within you. Turkey is about abundance. So the power to heal is within you. I like that. Amy Shailene. I like it when they jump out like that. Moldavite. This is a piece of a star. Unconventionality. Your unique qualities are an important part of your life purpose. It's okay to feel different from others. Not only is it okay, it's essential to your life purpose to feel very different. Amy Shailene. Julie Zechariah. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Julie Zechariah. I'm glad I know where that dog lives, though, because it was nighttime. It was dark, and it was in my front yard. And I always worry about dogs wandering because if they go down too far to the main road, I don't want someone getting hit. And I thought, shit, what if somebody's dog's out and they don't realize it? So why is that dog out of the yard? He has no fence. He has no fence for his dog. That's what's so special about this yard. This yard's pretty amazing. Dark, you know what's interesting? Is when he said, well, it's because of your cats. She wants to come over and see your cats. No, my cats have been in the house for, how long's it been since the coyote took Saphira? 2 weeks? And he said, yeah, I saw that on Facebook. Well, then why would you say it's because of your cats? Because you already just told me. You saw that on Facebook that my cats have been in the house. I think that's interesting. Dark blue galactic dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe. So ignite the codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom, and enter higher service. It's holding on to this bag, this crystal bag. So call on the dark blue galactic dragon. I have a friend. He plays didgeridoo. He's moved to Phoenix, which is funny. Phoenix keeps coming up, right? I would never in my entire life live there. Not if you paid me, I would not live there. But 3 friends that I care about live there. My friend Arabella just moved there to start her life over. And Nico Light, my friend that plays the didgeridoo, he's an incredible musician and he creates didgeridoos. He did a Lionsgate journey. I call it Dragon's Gate. And while we were in meditation, I saw a blue dragon. And I looked at it. It looked over its shoulder at me and it said, come on, follow me. And so afterwards, they asked if we had any experiences. And I said to him, do you have a blue dragon? And he said, I am the blue dragon. And I said, I saw you. You wanted me to follow you in the cave. You wanted to go on an adventure. So call this dark blue galactic dragon in to ignite the codes of your master blueprint and access cosmic wisdom and enter higher service. That's what happened when I connected with him. And I said, I am the fire dragon. And as I said the words, we all watched this fireball go across the sky. It was crazy. It was witnessed by everyone there. And I said, that's me. Pretty incredible. It was pretty freaking incredible. That was Julie Zechariah, right? Show me where you are. Show me where you are. I can't see you. I can hear you, but I can't see you. So you're going to have to show yourself so I know your message. Come out further. Come out further. I can't see you. That one started the reading, talking. You're welcome, Julie. If I could read my own writing, it would be helpful. So I've got Lori, Cecile, gratitude, but who is this one? After Julie Zechariah. Why can't I read my own writing? Frank, why don't I have your name down? Did you asked for a reading? So why is your name not here? Frank. I don't know whose name I'm missing. Cecile. I've got you. Chords, I've got you. Lori, I've got you. Who is that one? Ingrid, did I read for you? Yes. Natasha Whiteside. All of you I've read for. I don't know who this is, you guys. And a Nandini I read first. Breezer I read. No, it's up in a tree. It's way high. It's not a quail. All right, I'm going to go to Lori Hamilton, and I can't see who this is. I've got their name circled, and I can't read my writing. So if I missed you, I'm going to tell you who I'm reading for, okay? Lori Hamilton, Cecile, Chords of Gratitude, and Frank. Who else was missed? Lori Hamilton. Lori Hamilton. Lori Hamilton. No, I know, but I don't think it's a quail. It was, well, I'm not going to argue because just because it's up in a tree, that tree is really high though. I know they fly high and they roost. So I'm not going to argue with you. So let's go back to quail then. Quail totem says, danger, danger, Will Robinson. It's alerting you to something. Pay attention to something. It's an alert. It also talks about family. but they're on the ground and they have to stay away from predators, right? So it's constantly about paying attention. Notice the signs. That one's yelling at us. So pay attention. So pay attention as we're reading this message. Make time for self-care. Taking care of yourself is essential right now, Lori Hamilton. Pay attention. Time sensitive. This time is now. I've got an event that's supposed to start at 5 o'clock today at the Amtuba Stupa and Peace Park. I think I'm going to go. It's my girlfriend Sedona. She's a wilding one like me. And that's just popped up. It's the 14th today. 14th is temperance. So it's about holding yourself back. So pay attention to the signs. Self-care is essential. Hold yourself back. Stop screaming as soon as Chords of Gratitude said quail, right? Stop screaming right then. So the message was pay attention to this. Cecile. Cecile. So I was convinced it was a different bird, but I thought about that and I had that stance in my head, and Chords is like, oh, it sounds like a quail. And I'm like, no, it's not a quail, because I'm thinking it was something. But fact of the matter is, listen, because you don't know everything. And you know what? Think about it. That is what a quail sounds like, doesn't it? It does sound like that. It just isn't in the location you expected it to be. It's not in the location you expected it to be. It's gone a lot higher. And it probably did that to get out of danger. Colorado, the mountains. Look at this. One in reverse, one in the upright. This is for Cecile. Earth and air dragon. Earth and air, the quail, normally on the ground, is up in the air, suddenly up in that tree. Represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Stay balanced. Ground your visions. Manifest your hopes and dreams. And then the golden Christed dragon brings you higher love so that you can embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. Remember, I told you I don't live in the 3D world. I live in the fifth and sixth dimension. Stay there. That one went higher to the light. That quail went higher to the light. Frank, Sherry, I was going to tell you, the woman I brought my pendulum back, and yeah, she does tarot and she also does Reiki. There you go. I'm an angelic Reiki master myself. It's a higher form of Reiki because the angels taught it. I mean, I did take a master Reiki Asui course, but Spirit taught me angelic Reiki themselves. And my friend had a comment to make about whether you should trust your pendulum or not. The fact that you were asking that meant no, you couldn't, because you didn't trust yourself. You wouldn't have asked that. If you could have trusted it, you wouldn't have asked, because you would have known, right? So that one had to fly higher. That quail, that family situation, I had to fly higher to get to the light. And yet I remained grounded. I was on a tree, but I needed to get to the light. It had to do with the family situation. There was danger on the ground. I had to get to a higher consciousness. All of that from Chords of Gratitude. Thank you. Johanna, can you have a reading? Absolutely. So that was Cecile. Johanna. Frank, did I read for you yet? I don't think so. I think I'm reading for Frank right now. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Frank. I wonder who it was that I couldn't read the writing. Was it Kevin? It was Kevin. Kevin. It was Kevin. This is Frank. It was Kevin. Loon. Ooh, this is a Canadian bird. I'm Canadian. Pay attention to your dream time. Messages of guidance are drifting in. Remember, I told you someone wanted to buy or adopt a. That's funny. Wanted to adopt a puppy, a neutered male. They said you need to get him neutered. So he was a wild puppy, like the dog next door running around, right? And I said, get a cat. I took the cat. Pay attention to your dreams. That was my dream. So, Frank, pay attention to what your dreams are telling you. I took out your picture and I cried like a baby song. Don't leave me waiting. I'm seeing a giant goddess lying on her back and she's pregnant. She's ready to birth something new. She's waiting. She's just allowing her. It's the time because it's imminent. The birth is imminent. So she's taking care of herself as she births this new creation. Pay attention to your dream time. Messages of guidance are drifting in. Kevin, let's do Kevin because I finally realized that that's who that was. Kevin. You're very. Nandini, I already read for you. You were the very first person I read for. So I have to go back and listen. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Kevin. Sodalite, the friendship stone. Socialize or join in. Make healthy and supportive new friendships and connections by getting involved with a group of like-minded people. I said I was invited. It's sitting up at the top of my phone right now. Sunday at the Stupa, today at 5 o'clock. Am Tubas P. Stupa. And I said, this is my fairy wilding friend. So that's a confirmation for me. So for you, socialize, join in. Sodalite is the friendship stone. That's what I said. So healthy, supportive. Well, that's a bummer. Okay, there we go. I don't know how much I lost. I waited. You said you lost us, and I had to reload twice. But while I was reloading, the message came on that said, remember to guide your privacy and abide by community standards. And remember how the little fox that lost their ass, and remember my dog's barking, and my neighbor needs to keep their dog under wraps or fenced in. Regard your privacy, because it's my message now. I don't know how much of that you lost. I'm sorry. I hope you're back. So I'm going to, maybe I'll just read my message and not say what's in my head in regards to it. I think I'm going to read from the affirmators because I just noticed something. There's a little message down here and it says wisdom from about halfway up the mountain. Affirmators. I am an affirmator. And this is the Pegasus the Divine, and that's me on the back of the Pegasus the Divine. And when I was up on that crazy hike yesterday, I liked where I was. There was an area that I could have gone down that was a little lower. I used to go there. And then there was another area that was up higher. And I said, I like it here. I liked it in the middle, halfway up the mountain. And that's literally what I said. I like it halfway up the mountain. That's why I like that hike up there. Because right down here, we're down on the lower end. Thunder Mountain is over there. Halfway up, I didn't want to go too high. I didn't want to go to Flag, but halfway up the mountain. Correct for neutrality. Correct for neutrality. So what message do you have for me for the affirmators? Clarity. It's an orange peel and a garbage can. Stop listening to my inner self. I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar. And the mental chatter is confusing, bitter, a rind that I shall peel off and chuck into the garbage or compost heap if your mental chatter happens to be organic. I do have a composter. So it's about separating what my truth is, and my truth is sweet. The bitter, uncomfortable, that is garbage. Throw it away. And then forgiveness. Congratulations, you're being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is, forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power, but remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. Well, wasn't that what I asked for as the cat that's done all the hard stuff? I want peace. I choose peace. For me and myself, I choose peace. I like this. This is a good message for self. I like that. And I think I'm going to just wrap it right there. It's 2:30. All right, you guys. I hope I got everybody. I hope that there was no one missing. Oh, I do have a message from my friend Serenity. Let's see. Correct for neutrality. Serenity. Let's go to the dragon deck for Serenity. Okay. 2 of them. Black dragon from Saturn brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. So concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision, and congratulate yourself. You have passed a test. And the golden Atlantean dragon helps you remember the wisdom of the golden Atlantis. Awaken, bring back your knowledge of gifts and talents, and reclaim your mastery. So you've got black and gold. Black and gold. It would be good to wear gold if you're wearing black. Ingrid, thank you so much, beautiful goddess. Have a wonderful Sunday. Much love always. Thank you so much. You as well. And cords of gratitude. Was I starting to read for you when the dog went crazy? Johanna, is my turn or did I pass it? No, I've already read you, Johanna. I read you. I'll read cords of gratitude. And if somebody tells me that I got distracted again and didn't read Joanna's, let me know. But I think I did. So cords of gratitude. Silver dragon with the flaming key. Illuminates your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources and look into your soul to see higher possibilities. So call in the silver dragon to illuminate your potential with higher light so that you can access untapped resources and look into your soul and see the higher possibilities. That's cords of gratitude. I'll do another. Yes, I was the dog. Ingrid was a dog barking, so I did read for cords. Johanna, I'll do it again for you. We'll see. Johanna, emerald dragon brings in healing and cosmic abundance. We like that. All of us do. So good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfectionism. Align with your 5th dimensional blueprint. Remember, we want to stick around the 5th dimension, not the 3rd dimension. That's where bullshit's happening, right? So call on your emerald dragon, which is money, which is health, which is love, to bring in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection and align with your 5th dimensional blueprint. All right. Ingrid, you got your message though, right? Because you were the barking dog. You were the barking dog. Something just fell out. Let's do this one. It just decided to come out. The blue dragon from Pleiades. Pleiades is when we went to, a lot of the Lyrans went to Pleiades after the planet exploded. So blue dragon from the Pleiades prepares you to accept source healing, accept heart activation, and give and receive heart healing. Call upon the blue dragon of the Pleiades. All right, you guys, I'm wrapping it now. I've done extra cards, so we're calling it a wrap. It's time for me to get out of this heat. Hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for showing up and sharing within our energy and supporting one another. And yes, thank you. I'll listen back because I got distracted by the man in your yard. I know I got distracted by him too. Somebody got distracted by the man in the yard. Thanks again. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right, guys, I love you. I'm going to wrap it right now.